Up next on End of the Day Beer Review, we're going to be looking at Stormborn. This is a Belgian-style blonde ale coming in at 6.5% ABV by Sand City Brewing Company. Check it out. Hi everybody, it's Rich and welcome back to End of the Day Beer Review. If you're new here, welcome. Please hit that like, subscribe button, join if you enjoy the content. Today I'm going to be looking at Stormborn. This is a Belgian-style blonde ale. It comes in at 6.5% ABV, and it is brewed and canned by Sand City Brewing Company in Northport, New York. So this is a Long Island beer. I am on Long Island. They have some really interesting can art. Sand City always does a nice job on their can art. I have been to Sand City a couple of times. This is actually produced on 1/3/24. Today is basically like 4/17, I think. So this is a pretty fresh beer. Let's crack this open and let's see what we have. And you know, to continue my using one of my favorite glasses, bad things happen in Philadelphia, which I do truly believe. Let's give this a pour. Oh, you know what? This glass is just a little wet from when I cleaned it before, so let me just dry it out so nothing can contaminate the taste. And we'll give this a little pour. Oh, and this pour is really, really light. Now, I'm normally a stout person, as anybody who's been on this channel knows. This is pouring a pale yellow, almost a light ginger ale color, which I sort of like, actually. A good amount of carbonation, actually. You could hear sort of the effervescent, you know, pour. In fact, if anything, it's sort of poured like a soda with the amount of carbonation, and it does look like there's quite a bit of carbonation still coming up. Let's give the nose a try. You know, I'm getting a good amount of sort of a nice, almost bready, yeasty type of aroma to this, which I sort of like. I like blonde ales because you get that sort of nice bready flavor to it. And normally they're very easy to drink, although quite honestly, coming in at 6.5% ABV for, you know, a non-stout, that's a pretty respectable ABV. Let's give it a taste. Actually, wait, is there anything else? No, there's that sort of yeastiness. I'm getting sort of, to me, it always smells like a mixture of like bread and yeast and not bread, sort of like wheat and yeast. And I know it's not a what do you call it? You know, a wheat ale, but to me, that's just sort of what it reminds me of on the nose. So let's give it a taste. So this is very easy to drink. The mouthfeel is nice. It's a very smooth drinking beer. I thought the carbonation was going to be a little bit much, but I have to tell you the truth. The carbonation is really good. In fact, as you swallow it, that sort of bready flavor sort of explodes on the back of your tongue, which I think is awesome. There's something else there. I don't want to say, it's not citrus. This is as far from like a citrus-laden IPA as you can possibly get. But there is another flavor there that I just can't quite place. But I really do like it. Is it, maybe there's just a hint I'm getting of like, I don't know, maybe orange, something like that. I just don't know. For the most part, the dominant flavor is that bready flavor that's there that I really get with most of the Belgian ales. It's almost like drinking like a really, really good piece of bread. There's also just a hint of bitterness on the back of the tongue, which I like. It breaks up the flavor quite nicely. Now, the bitterness is not off-putting like an IPA. The bitterness instead just sort of builds and causes you to sort of appreciate the rest of that flavor that's on your tongue. So, I mean, for me, this is really good. And I'll tell you something else. I think as far as like Sand City beers can be a little pricey sometimes. In fact, I've reviewed a ton of Sand Cities, and like some of their stouts I have, and this might be the distributor markup, have been a little more expensive than I expected them to be. But I have to tell you, like, this was $12.99 for a 4-pack at a Stu Leonard's on Long Island, which to me is a bargain. Because this is an easy drinking beer. This is a beer that you could easily pair with like a burger, with pizza, with anything, and you could enjoy it. And it is an easy drinking 6.5% ABV, beer. So if you're a fan of the Belgian style beer and you happen to be on Long Island, because Sand City is a relatively small brewery, and I don't know how much distribution they get off of Long Island, this is definitely one I would check out. And again, the name of this is Stormborn. I'm not sure, well, it does look like it's a Game of Thrones reference. Like that does look like, I'm gonna take it out of the light. Down on the bottom, they have sort of the woman from Game of Thrones, the main lady. I don't know her name because I did not watch the entire series, but she was like the queen of the dragons. So it looks like they are almost playing on that idea of Game of Thrones here, which, I mean, that's interesting. And the idea of, it being Stormborn, which I believe her name was like Darius Stormborn or something like that. Again, not an enormous Game of Thrones, I don't want to say enthusiast. I like the show. I just don't remember all the details about it. So the can art does look to be playing on that whole idea of Game of Thrones. So I really do enjoy this. And oh, look at that. There's even a little dragon on this. There's like a little dragon there. So yeah, I'm always happy when I get, and I know it's probably so freaking obvious, when I get the can art references. In fact, I was so pleased years ago when Fidens put out, I assure you we make stouts, and it was a reference to Clerks, that, I still have that can up in the corner there. And this is another one where I think the can art does a really nice job. Again, that little dragon is hidden on the back, which I sort of dig as well. But if you get a chance to check out Stormborn by Sand City Brewing Company, it's definitely a beer I would check out. Definitely a beer that you can sit back and enjoy, which is what I'm gonna do now. So I hope you have enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time on the End of the Day Beer Review. Cheers.